very warm welcome to everyone joining us today here. Today, I'm absolutely delighted and thrilled to welcome you to the first ever episode of BookFlix Live, where authors become your mentors. Ladies and gentlemen, this show is not just another talk show, but it is that platform to get guidance and mentorship to succeed in life by design, not by chance. Because this is that platform where you get to learn the real secrets for success. Whether you are a job career professional or entrepreneur or you are in any other profession for that matter. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is that platform where you get to learn the real life success formulas or real life success strategies from those successful authors. And you get to learn behind the book secrets, the untold stories behind every single chapter of the book. And most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, you get to learn the practical steps to design the path to your success by design, not by chance. My dear friends, to make this very first episode of BookFlix Live truly unforgettable, we have with us today an extraordinary guest, someone who embodies inspiration in his every sense, a thought leader whose journey speaks of resilience, purpose, and impact, a voice that has touched millions of hearts and transformed many lives through powerful ideas and actions of him. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a huge round of applause and warm welcome to our first guest, Mr. Sudipto Chowdhury. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sudipto Chowdhury, a visionary corporate leader with over 30 years of global corporate experience, former MD and CEO of Airtel Africa, and former CEO of Sahas E-Village Limited, an award-winning strategist whose journey across multiple countries is filled with invaluable lessons and powerful insights, ladies and gentlemen. He is also the proud author of the Amazon best-selling book, Life Without If. Sudipto sir, it's an absolute honor to have you with us today on this very special show of BookFlix Live episode number 1. Sir, we are really thrilled to hear from you, your stories and your insights today. But before getting into the details, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate you for this amazing book that you have published. The name is Life Without If. Sir, I would like to also congratulate because you have become the Amazon bestseller author today. Now, let me take the opportunity to ask the first question of this show series called BookFlix Live. Sir, I had been knowing you for over 3 decades by now, but when I look at any phase of your life, I am 100% sure that we can write a book. Having said that, my question is something like you had been doing very well in corporate. You were climbing ladder after ladder. You were impacting lives. You were helping many people grow. But how? How from a corporate person or corporate successful leader to writing a book? What actually made you write this, or what actually transpired you or inspired you to become an author and write this amazing book called Life Without If? Over to you, sir.
Brojan, that couldn't have been a better and pertinent question than to start your first episode of BookFlix. So, congratulations for launching this platform. And I do keep watch you on the social media, and you are doing extremely well. I see a lot of followers you are gathering around you. So, really proud of you, having worked with you for a long time, And we have always been a mutual learner. We learn from both, and we have gained from mutually, and we have worked very successfully in past and now, and again we are here together. So, not saying anything more, let get into your questions straight. Just before that, I must thank you for having me on your first episode of BookFlix live. So, Rojan, when I was 35, that's the time I actually decided that I will be in the corporate world, and I will fight every battle inside and outside to go up to the corporate ladder and leave my contribution to the industry and the society, but only up to 50. And a lot of people I shared with this plan. I had my cash flow made. I had my life after that, what everything jotted down there itself, then itself, when I was 35. And when I actually discussed this with my mentors, friends, parents, everybody, they all said, "Are you mad? After 50, that 10 years is the most earning, part of anybody's life." I said, "No, yes, that's true. But at the same time, you only need not only money, you need something more than that to be happy in life. And whatever money is required for rest of my life, I am not irresponsible. I will ensure that is there. The corpus is created, and I achieved my desired level of corporate ladder. I do contribute whatever I can within that. All those plans were in place, and once I have all those parameters achieved, then only I will leave. But I have a timeline very, very finely fixed, which is 50, at the age of 50. But with that plan, I was working. Okay. And when I worked, okay, so, then as you plan, but there is always certain things keep happening which is beyond plan. Okay. And finally, at 52, when I was 52, I could really come back to execute my plan. And at 52, I said, yes, here it is. But it was not, I must confess at this point of time to the viewers that, in life, everything not always happens exactly what the way you want, but there is always a trigger comes and make that happen. What is important is to pick up the trigger. So what was the trigger? I came for a holiday from Africa to my place in Calcutta, and that night, early morning, my father fell down and broke his femur, and that was the trigger. I think that was the way of God telling me, "Hey guys, you had a plan of coming back and do something after 50. You are already 52, and your parents, your friend, you've committed something. Have you forgotten, or are you deviating from your plan?" I said, "No, this is the time I need to be with my parents. This is the time I have to go back to what I have designed as my plan for my life." And that trigger reminded me, and I said, enough. I actually spoke to my boss, Mr. Mittal, and I decided that I will come out and I will do what I planned much earlier. And the question comes, why? What is that I will do next? Is it I am not going to do anything? No. I had a very clear plan that whatever I have learned, whatever I have experienced, I think this is a time I have to give back as my legacy to my community, to my society, and to the people who will gain out of it. And I chose three three areas where I want to work. First area, I started mentoring startups. I picked up 5 startups, and I do mentor and tell them, the young kids, young entrepreneur, to how to make a plan, how to make that plan get executed, and how to make a plan into a business and make, contribute both internal stakeholder as well as external stakeholder. That was my way of hand holding the aspiring entrepreneur to their life journey of creating a business, okay, or creating a service. That was the first one, mentoring, hand holding. Second one, I decided whatever I learned, how can I pass on the learning to many people? So I got affiliated with few universities and joined them as a visiting faculties, and I do tech classes and yeah, young MBAs or the aspiring MBAs. I do teach them design thinking. I do teach them how to startup ecosystem. I do teach them success by design, etc., etc., and which is in line with what you actually talk about, and this thing. So that was the second one, teaching. So handholding, mentoring, teaching, passing on the knowledge. And the third one, which was designed to be the third one, while I was working in between, not that it was third by the only by design, but the design has to be on third one, was documenting my learning and handed over a document which, before it get diminished or vanish in my memory, or I am not there, that document is handed over to a larger community and the society, so that everybody don't have to discover and relearn. They can actually take that document and use my learning, and wherever applicable they can use in their life, and don't waste time of relearning or recreating the whole thing. And that's where my author journey starts up, and that's where I started writing, and this book came up, which is A Life Without If. Okay, that is where my journey and how and why of my Sudipto Chowdhury, from a successful corporate leader to author, happened. I hope that
I
answers your question.
absolutely, sir. The next question which I would like to ask you basically is, sir, what are the things that a reader can expect from your book? I think largely at the moment, if we can have an idea about it, that will be a great step at this moment. And then as we go along, episode after episode, we'll go deep dive into the book, sir. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Yes, first to start, before I actually answer your question, let me spend a minute on the name of the book, Life Without If. When I actually thought of writing, then I asked myself what to write. I definitely wanted to write, and how to write so that attract people and that makes sense to people. Okay, and then I reflected my own journey of life. In my journey of life, I uh, was not from the beginning and extremely successful in my studies or whatever. I started very modest. I was more a confused child from a very learned family, but so over a period of time I started learning tricks and picked up from my very lot of life lessons. Okay, and one of the key lesson what I picked up is life. If you actually spell the word life, Life, okay, then at the center sits I and F. There's an L and the E at the beginning, at the end, and then there is a center is the I and F. So if actually sits at the center of life. But Mike, you can question me, but your book says life without if. You can't even spell the word life without if. How can you write a book of life without if? So you also must have noticed that in the cover, the out is striked out. So the here it is that life is never without if. Life is always with if. But there are two kind of if. There are positive ifs and there are negative ifs. And that's my learning from my life. Okay. You can think, what if I fail? What if you want to do something, but every time you are thinking, if it doesn't work? What if it is not as per my plan? What if somebody says something? What if I am not successful? But at the same time, like, what if I fail? One can think, what if I can fly? That's what the Wright brothers did. Okay, they didn't have, so they had that if. Not that the Wright brothers didn't have ifs. They had that if. That's why they actually failed so many times. But they were so committed, and they found the way to overcome the negative waves and to positive waves, and they created the history in humankind, and they created the aeroplane. And today we fly. You come from Manipur to any part of the world or the country, or I do travel, or many do, okay, in second. That made possible because they overcome the waves. They manage their negative waves and balanced with their positive waves. And that's where my book comes alive without if. So to summarize, I don't want to prolong this answer, because this is very clear in my mind, and this has to be very clear and crisp in reader's mind, that life without if is a document, is a book which enables you or the reader to live a life by design, a life by design and not by default. And how? By minimizing the impact of the negative waves and emphasizing the impact of the positive waves, and thus living life by design and create a success by design, what you call. So that's where I think is the single takeaway, if you ask me. So for the readers from this book is how to design success in life, not by default, but by a pre-planned design, by minimizing the impact of if, emphasizing the positive impact of if, and live a life meaningfully.
Yes, sir. Sir, very well explained. To our viewers, I just wanted to take a moment here and just share with them that this is how we are trying to just set the foundation of this particular flow of this number of episodes that we are going to have, wherein we'll be covering this Sudipto sir's book called Life Without If. As I have shared, this is the kind of platform where we are inviting the experts, inviting the successful person who have traveled the journey of a very fruitful and a successful, life or professional journey, and they are sharing their winning mantras, some of the turning points that they have been able to execute. And when we have the author or the person himself sitting on the stage, we can go really, really deeper into it, and we'll be able to know the actual stories behind coming up with any of the topics or chapters that they are mentioning. If you have any questions or if you have any kind of doubts, you can ask your questions. You can send your queries or suggestions to the number given below on WhatsApp, and we will answer to the questions that you would be sharing or you will be sending. So, coming back to the discussion, sir, very well explained. Life can never be without if. Life is always with if. Sir, just to follow up with that particular point, I just wanted to ask, what are the things basically on a broad manner that our viewers or a reader can expect from this particular book?
Okay. A as I said, life is not without if; it is with if. So first thing, the readers will actually get the concept of if. If can be I and F can be defined as indecision or and fear. I stand for indecision and F stands for fear. So if you are under the impact of that, if indecisive and fearful, then you will always be hesitating in your plan and progressing with it. But at the same time, I and if can also be, you know, also stand for identifying your potential and focus onto it. So if you can identify your potential, that what is that right skills you have, what is the skill, what is the thing you want to do, you can do, you do love doing it and you do well, then with doing that you can actually get and realize your potential with a focused action towards it. So from indecisive fearfulness to identified potential focused action, your life actually can be changed from by default living to a by design living. And that is the first thing, which is the core of the concept of this book, Life Without If. So, how to live life with your full ideally identified potential, with a full focus on execution instead of indecisiveness and fearfulness. That's number one. Once you understand this concept, then actually explain the, as per our research from our own life, as well as various successful individual in the history in India, abroad, we found out there are 9 positive ifs and there are 9 negative ifs. In the book, what we explain them as a enabler, 9 enablers and 9 dislodgers. So how do understand those 9 enablers and 9 dislodgers? And each all of these 9 enablers and the dislodgers actually get paired up into 9 behavioral continuum, as we call it. Where this behavioral continuum is like a seesaw. Nobody is in the perfect left hand side of fully positive ifs. No, neither nobody is in the fully negative ifs. Life is actually putting you into a seesaw. So anybody in some occasion, in a particular incident, can behave negatively. The same person can actually also start behaving positively, based on if he is working from his strength, potential, and skills and competency, or if he is getting influenced more by the external factor. So are you influenced by your own internal positive factors, or you are actually getting influenced by the external factor? That depends upon whether you will be on the right hand side on the in the influence of negative waves, or in the left hand side in the influence of the positive waves or the enablers. So the second part of our book is explaining this 9 behavioral continuum with an example of very, very famous, successful people from India and abroad over period of the history, and how they have faced, and they have behaved in those 9 behavioral continuum in various situations, and design their life, success of life. So that's where we have validated our concept of life without if, or the if enabler and disabler, with the proven successful people's history. Then that is actually we have given an assessment tool, which is the third part of the book, which is in each of the behavioral continuum. We are not only telling you what it is and what others have done, we are actually giving the readers a tool to assess themselves on each of these behavioral continuum, where they stand. Through by this assessment is not done by us. This assessment, the tool is given, the chart is given, a few questions they have to answer, and they do assess themselves in a scale of 5 in each of these behavioral continuum where they stand. This is the third part of the book, concept to behavioral continuum, how enablers and disabler impacts you, and where do you stand, your own assessment. The fourth part of the book actually tells you, in wherever you are, say in a scale of 5, if you are at 4 or if you are at 1, okay, where 1 is the worst situation, 4 is the better, 5 is the best situation, how can you move from wherever you are to the next level? So we are not only giving gyan or the knowledge, or we are, or the wisdom, we are also giving the reader the step-by-step action plan to move from your disabler influence to enabler influence. So that's where they are improving themselves. And once they know that, understand the concept, understand the behavioral continuum, assess them, and also know what to do to move forward, then we actually take them to a gym. Okay, till now it was actually telling them how to make a healthy life, good life, successful life. Now we are taking him to the gym or the field into real action. We are asking them, hey guys, now you know the tools, you have the wherewithal, but now tell us or discover with us, what is that you want to do in life? Because most of the people does not even know. They want to be successful, but they don't know what is success mean to them. So we are telling them through the fifth part of our book is to discover, reader discovers what they want to do in life based on not only their wish, based on a complete validation of their skill and competency. I want to play the cricket, but do I have the skill of playing cricket? If I do not have the playing that skill, I might wish to become Sachin Tendulkar. I will not. Or even Sachin Tendulkar would not have become a Sachin Tendulkar or as famous if he wants to go try singing. So Lata Mangeshkar had the skill of singing, and she focused on that. Sachin Tendulkar had the skill of playing cricket. He focused on that, and that's why they have this. What they want to do was aligned with their skill and competency, and that's why they were so successful. So that is the fifth part of the book. Discover what you want, validate whether you have the relevant skill and competency or not. And if you have, then the sixth part of the book is saying, create your own plan, what we call life without if, diamond blueprint. What I want to do, why I want to do, how I want to do, by when I want to do. And so, end of the reading of this book, everybody will actually get a complete blueprint of what is his life objective, why it is so, is it aligned with his skill and competency or not, and how we can achieve that, the plan of it, the diamond blueprint, and by when he can achieve that. Now, I will just take a pause and tell the readers that somebody may create a plan for 50 years. Somebody might create a plan for only 5 years. Somebody might say, I will only have a 1 year plan. All fine. Every situation is fine, but you'll have to create that plan based on your own objective. Okay, and then once that particular plan is you have achieved, you can create the next plan. And this is a better way of doing it. Create a smaller period, expand it to next period, because you will also know how to plan well, how to plan better, and how to execute the plan. Because, and always keep in mind, whatever best plan you create, the plan is not fully independent of your doing. It is actually largely dependent on how external world is going to behave. And that's where the life without if, that is the ifs, will always come and try to dislodge or enable. So how do you manage those situations and of external influence, maybe sometime not positive, maybe sometime positive, and stay track is the core theory of the book. And that's what I think. To summarize, understand the concept. That's the first part. What is life without if? Second, the behavioral continuum, the enablers and the dislodgers, the 9 enablers and 9 dislodgers, 9 behavioral continuum, self-assessment, creating a plan, and executing the plan. That's what are the 5 or 6 part of this book, which gives it.
Very, very well explained. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
sir. I was just trying and understanding when I was listening to you when you were explaining this whole concept or the way the book has been written. It's a really, really well thought through kind of approach. I would say it will take, I think, maybe 5 to 6 episodes, if not less, to just cover each of the chapters, chapter by chapter. Why I'm saying is that, first of all, you were talking about living our life or achieving success in our lives by design. And it is all about, if I have understood correctly, it is all about creating the design for the reader, for himself, with the help of the frameworks and the steps articulated in that particular book. And I would say this book is going to be very unique and very different. The way the entire thing has been charted out, I have seen many diagrams out there, which are really helpful for the reader to understand the thing. When they see in the pictorial form, it becomes simpler for them to understand the whole
Absolutely.
concept. And
Absolutely.
what we are going to do is here in this platform, maybe on the clarity part of the concept, maybe we are talking about here the negative ifs and the positive ifs, and then after that, behavioral continuum. And then after that, we are talking about doing the assessment. Then after that, we are saying that we will create a design by finding out where I want to go, which is going to be well aligned with my skills and talents and competencies. And then after that, creating a design for myself as to how we are going to reach to that particular design or the goal that I'm setting. And the goal can be, as you have rightly said, it can be for 10 years, maybe only 1 year, or maybe it can be for 30 years. So I would say, sir, if our reader, our viewer can understand the whole process from end to end with 100% clarity, I think video presence, it will not be difficult for us to achieve that level. Once our viewer can be 100% clear about step by step process from the starting till the end, I think that viewer will be very easily be able to design the success for himself, the how success should be looking like for himself, and the more importantly, the actionables, the action plan to achieve that level of success. I think that is going to be crystal clear for him. And what a better enabler or a tool can be there for anybody who would like to achieve success by design, sir. And I'm really thankful to you for coming here and sharing this. And what I'm saying is that to our viewers, basically, As we go along, in each of these steps, we are going to take time. We are going to request Sudipto sir, explain everything in detail. What is that actually he is trying to mean when he is talking about certain steps, and what are the important things we should be keeping in mind when we understand that, or when we actually implement that in our real life scenarios. So, sir, coming back to the conversation again, I had one, thing in my mind. I have seen many books, many bestsellers, maybe in India or otherwise. Uh, each of the book carries some uniqueness, and I am also under realizing that your book called Life Without If is carrying a lot of uniqueness, a lot of power. I know that this book is going to change many lives. I'm 100% sure about it. There is no doubt about it. And here I would like to understand from you directly, since it is a beginning show, the opening show. Maybe we would like to go little the wider perspectives of the particular book, or maybe your life, if allowed. And now my question is that while each of the books which are already bestseller or which are already successful are carrying certain uniqueness in those books, which are different from the remaining books, or the concepts which are presented by other books. In your book, I'm seeing a lot of uniqueness in this. How do you feel? How do you look at your book? Like how your book is going to be different from the other books which are giving good concepts or big concepts to succeed in life?
Well, I think very, very good question, Brojan. And as you know, you have seen me. I am an avid reader. I have and read lot of books, and written by Indian authors, written by international authors, and few of the book has really influenced me and my life. Okay, and and I was always, very, very attracted to those books, like motivational book, self help book, and that is the genre I focused on. And what I realized, is the motivational, transformational, self-help genre. There are a lot of bestsellers, international bestsellers, and and so why I am coming into that was the biggest question in my mind. That why again there is already enough. Why then one more? Okay, you want to be one more in that particular genre, or if you don't want to be one more, you surely don't want to be one more, and me too, then why do you, what is that uniqueness you are going to give to the readers, so that they actually get benefited? So I have tried to think from the reader's perspective rather than the author's perspective. Because Sudipto Chowdhury may be an well-known figure in telecom or FMCG industry as an senior man, leadership man, guy, but he is not known as a great author. So why should people take me as an author? Somebody might hire me as a manager, but why a author? So I have to give something which is not me too, and which is different than others. So I said, started introspecting, and the and analyzing all those books which I have read, and what I have not read, and then found that motivational books or the self-help books are primarily, it tells you a lot of what to do and what not to do. It shares with you lot of stories, success stories, Sometimes it is about the author, sometimes about the various events, mythology, whatever it is. But they give shares with you the stories to substantiate the concept, and so that it get registered with people. And they are called motivational or self-help book because they tells you to how they can, each individual by reading that book can help themselves. Okay, that's why self-help. It doesn't say the author helps, it says self-help. You have to help yourself. Okay, but after a lot of studies, I have realized whether it is a training, transformational training, or a book, motivational book or self-help book, it actually, while you are reading or going through the training, it takes you to a peak. And then over a period of time, it again vanish and decimate. It does not, all those books, some stories keeps in your mind, knocks you, but the whole concept and the theory does not get translated, or very few actually gives you a format where you can actually create a takeaway from the book. And that's where the uniqueness of this book comes in. As I was explaining you, we have first shared the concept, then extended the concept into that behavioral continuum, and then after that, it is all about the readers. Self-assessment, who is the self? The readers. And we actually give them tool to assess themselves and document it. Not only an assessment tool, but we actually give them a complete diagram where they can actually go through, assess step by step, and get a result like an exam result. This is where you stand. And once you have that, your exam, or it's like you do blood, go to the doctor, the doctor gives you a blood work, and then a report come, your hemoglobin is like this, your WBC is like this. We also give you the book gives you the first self-assessment in the 9 behavioral continuum. Where do you stand? Then we take them through an introspection tool where they have to discover for themselves what they want to do. Third tool we provide them is, whatever you have decided to do, do you have the right skill and competency and behavioral feature to do that? If you are saying that I want to become a great businessman, do you have the resource, knowledge to become a great businessman? Otherwise, we tell them go back and reassess yourself. So then you actually validate and tell yourself that this is what I want to do because I have these skills and the competency. And then we help them the next phase, how you want to do in 1 month to your own defined period, the house of achieving what you have set yourself for achieving. So end of the book, end of the reading, and I strongly recommend, this book is at least read twice kind of a book. It is not a read once kind of a book. Read once, you will have not have a complete clarity. You will have a feel good, but may not get a complete clarity. But when you read for the second time, don't even in the first time, you don't even fill the diagram, don't even do the assessment. But when you read for the second time, that's where you start working along with the book, and then start doing your assessment, filling all the diagram, and end of the second reading, you will actually have a 4-page plan which is your own created life plan. It is not created by Sudipta Chaudhary. It is not created by Brojan, or it is not created by Joaquin Birge. It is with the help of the Sudipta Chaudhary and Joaquin Birge and their research work, you will create, every reader will create their own life's working plan, what we call Life Without If blueprint, which is your design for living success by design, and which will help by, with optimized behavior of minimizing the negative impact of the if and emphasizing the positive impact of the if. And that's what the uniqueness, that end of it, you will get a 5-pager document which you can use it for your whole life or the period of life, and as and when you can keep changing and move forward in your life. So this will actually give you the, before you build a house, you create a blueprint. Before you start reliving your life, after reading this book, you will have a blueprint for your whole life. And that's what remains with you. And this is so sharp and so small, short and crisp, that you can always keep it in your pocket. So whenever required, pull it up, spread it, read it, keep it in your pocket. So that's what the uniqueness of this book.
There
I
cannot
hope that
be any better. Yes, of course. There cannot be any better explanation than this, the way you have given. For our viewers, if I just may share a little bit of a small experience of mine, I have gone through over 2,000 workshops in my corporate journey. And many of the workshops were very, very, I would say, power packed with a lot of insights, with a lot of great ideas, actually conducted by great trainers or big leaders, I would say. And we come back from the workshop with a lot of inspiration, a lot of motivation, with a lot of great, great strategies, and with a big dream or hope, saying that after coming back from this workshop, I am going to deliver this. And I have learned this, and I have this in me, and I'm going to deliver this. And after 6 months, I see that that energy level, that motivation level, in fact, the strategy itself is slowly, slowly fading away. As a result, in true sense, I do not convert that particular learning into certain measurable results. And that is the, I would say, problem we go through when we read many of the books. There are so many powerful books with great, great, different, unique ideas, and we understand that book. We learn lot of strategies from that book, and slowly, slowly, what happens after 1 year, we don't even remember what I learned from that particular book. And what Sudipto sir is saying can be explained by a person who have traversed that kind of a journey only, who have worked in the levels of CEO or MD of an organization. Such a scientific, I would say, professional way of Six Sigma level of explanation, if I may say so. My viewers, this is the book. I think in this book, Sudipto sir has very well explained about creating uh, the design of your success, first of all. And for doing that, we need to go through this. We need to actually eat and drink this book, whatever has been written here. And I will make sure, and Sudipto sir, along with me, we will make sure that the entire details about what and how whatever is written in this book will be explained as simple as possible. Will take time. That's why we're taking a lot of episodes. We are not trying to finish it up in 1 or 2 episodes. We are going to take maybe not less than 6 7 episodes on this. We'll decide as we go along as to how many episodes we'll be taking it. So what I'm trying to say here is that through these episodes or shows that we're going to have, we will be trying to help you to understand whatever concepts which has been written over here. And this is the book. It's the same book, for everybody. But the point I'm trying to say here is that after reading this book, the kind of design that you will be creating for yourself, that will be unique for every single individual who would be watching this show or who would be understanding this concept called life without if. Thank you so much, Sudipto sir, for making it I think, clear to all of us. Having said that, the next question I would like to come to today, I think it's taken almost 35, 40 minutes by now. I will try to go it little faster here. So probably this is the final question I would be asking before concluding today's show. Uh, my question would be, sir, I have understood from you about what we can expect from this book very very clearly. You have explained it in a nice and proper manner, uh, and also you have explained about how this book is unique or different from the other self-help books. Now, the next question I would like to come to is who should be basically reading this book? Who are the people who should be reading this kind of book, or especially your book called Life Without If? So, this is the question to you, sir.
Again, let me start from the name of the book, Life. Anybody who is in this life and want to live good is a mind can read this book. So this book is not for a particular segment of people, or it's not a corporate manager's guidebook. It is not a student's guidebook. It is not a career building guidebook. It is a life, living life by design, not by default, and which is applicable for anybody and everybody. Now, that's too broad. So, in simple manner, anybody can read this book, and I'm sure he or she will get benefited out of it, because everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to live life well. And if you want to live life well, whether you are a cook, whether you are a mother, whether you are a student, whether you are a manager, whether you are a doctor, you need a same way of managing the ifs of your life effectively. Because as I told you, I have shared success stories of from various fields, from Wright brothers to J.K. Rowling Stone as a writer, Wright brothers as an inventor, to Malala Yousafzai as to various people from various field, various geography, and it is applicable. The theory is applicable for everybody's life. That's what our research says. And so this book is pertinent, this perfect fit for anybody who wants to live life by design meaningfully. Having said that, I will say that should a primary student, class student go and read this book? I say no, because to understand the concept, you need certain basic level of thinking ability, and basic level of level where you are in a position to do the assessment, understand the concept. So I will say anybody who is at the doorstep of adulthood, so who are actually in the secondary, cross secondary, getting into an high secondary or college level, that's where the book becomes your friend. And also a person who is already successful and say beyond 50, 55, who is already reached to a level where probably it is time for him to say, hey, how can I share my success and my learning to others? I think that's why it is still pertinent, but I will say I think leave them, because the world needs them to know their learning. So my book then, I will say, confined from anyone who is at 18 to 20 years to 50 to 55 years. Anyone who is a housewife to a student, anyone from a professional to a corporate leader, anyone to a player to a writer, anybody. Okay, but yes, once you have a basic mind framework done, and uh, before you have already almost crystallized your mind framework at a certain level of your peak level of your life. So I will keep it open and you read it. But again, I will emphasize, read twice. It's not a one read book. First time reading, you will only have know the concept. But when you get into the second time reading and start working with the book, with the diagrams, with the pictures, you will start realizing and introspecting yourself and inculcate those knowledge and the concept within yourself. And that is the time you will be more equipped to use those, diagram assessment and creating your own plan. Okay, all of us in our childhood actually has built a lot of sand castle, lot of mud castles or whatever, but none of them withstood the time. Okay, but all of us, after beyond the point of our education, that's what the formal education, curricular education does. It creates your mindset, a frame of thinking, a way of thinking, structure of thinking with you, and then you can start taking concept and work with that. Okay, that's where the you can become a painter or a cook very well, understand the concept of various spices and how does one react with the others. So that's where, let me close that at 18 plus to 18 to 20 plus, so high secondary to college going, and 50 to 55, irrespective of gender, irrespective of profession, anybody will be benefited out of this.
What I have seen in my viewers' analytics is that uh, 80% of my viewers fall into that category. In fact, it is close to 90%. So it is between the age starting from 20 years to 60 years, 55, 60 years. So 90% of my viewers also fall into that category. While this book will be applicable, or this book can be read by anybody and everybody who'd like to achieve success in their lives, be it in any profession, sports, or in education, or maybe in government job or corporate job, or any walk of life, even for that matter in personal life. Sudipto sir is suggesting that uh, people from any background, any gender, any religion, any region or country, but within the age brackets, not exactly age brackets, people starting from higher secondary pass out to the age level of about 60 or so. I would say, excuse me, I would say it's a great opportunity for all of us, to my viewers. We have Sudipto sir. As I said, he has, that kind of a phases in his life that he has traversed, wherein I go to any phase of his life, I can bring out some, life-changing stories or some learnings which are so far powerful, which can actually help somebody's life completely turn around from wherever he is. And this book is the book which we will be diving into chapter by chapter in deep details in every episode. That's why we have Sudipto sir, giving time to us for the next maybe 7, 8 episodes that we are going to have. Friends, let us take this opportunity, because in today's world, what I have seen is that there are so many young people, there are so many people who are in the mid-career level. If I talk about the career professionals, on the other hand, if I talk about entrepreneurs, there are so many entrepreneurs who are struggling. We have seen in the survey reports that more than 75% of the startups fail in the first 3 years of launching the business. And this is a true fact. And this is very, very unfortunate or sad thing, which is impacting the lives of those people who have put their money across in the business and who have lost all the money, which is impacting not only his own future, but the future of his family and loved ones. Friends, Sudipto sir is the person who is also a mentor and mentor to the startups. And this is just what he is doing now. But how many businessmen or entrepreneurs you would have mentored on during the course of his professional journey? I think it will be more than 500 to 1000 already. So many people would have taken his help to flourish in their business. And who can be a better person to take the learnings, to take the guidance or mentorship to grow in your business? So whether you are a job career professional, or whether you are an entrepreneur, or for that matter, whether you are a person who is living or who is trying to thrive in your profession, whatever may be the profession, because Sudipto sir is a very, very highly connected person who has, I would say, worked with so many, I would say, diverse groups of people in his life. He has personally done so many social related initiatives in his life in India and abroad. I have talked a little bit about when I was giving the introduction of him. So I think let's take this opportunity, like let's take this platform wherein we'll get the guidance and mentorship from a person like Sudipto sir, and try and understand what is written in this book and create the design for our own success, which will be unique for each and every individual. And yes, it is not going to be very easy, as Sudipto sir has said. We need to read at least two times, but I will have a different take on this. Just to understand the concept which is written in this book, probably we need to read two times. But for this is not a book which should be read once or twice and left behind. It is a book wherein we need to come back again and again, again and again. Because when you would have made your blueprint for your success by design with the help of this book, then after that, when you are into the phase of implementation, there will be moments, there will be many occasions wherein you will have some doubt. Maybe you are not 100% sure about what you are doing, going to do. At that time, probably you need to come back to this book and read that particular explanation which is articulated in that book with respect to that action point of that blueprint that you have created. That is why we need to come back again and again and read this book. This is what is my take with respect to how to read this book. I would say it is two times is not enough, Sudipto sir. I think we need to come back to this book again and again when we would be implementing our blueprint in true sense in our practical life. So, Sudipto sir, thank you so much for giving your time. But before concluding our show, I would like to just request you to share a bit, whatever, sir, you would like to share with respect to your personal life, your family life, how the journey has been, and stuff like that. And that's how we will conclude today's first episode of BookFlix Live. Over to you, sir.
Again, thank you, Brojen, for taking me on your, giving me, honoring me, being here with you on your first, series of BookFlix. So I think it's a very intelligently and wonderfully branded BookFlix, and you talk about take authors. It helps one way the authors as well as the readers. It connects. You are creating a platform, where readers and authors, with the help of your moderation, comes and understand the book, so and use them for their best benefit. And if it is the one thing I have to convey to your readers, is we are fully committed, and this is not just a show, this is a platform. So whether during this show you have a question, you can always ask. Even after that, in the show, I will tell Brojen, we have a website called Chowking, and Brojen, you can have a website called BookFlix. where one can post their queries or questions or confusions, and we are fully committed to come back if it comes, or we will leave at right point our probably contacts and the mails, so people can uh, write back straight to us, and we I can assure that every single queries, every single question, every single individual will be answered, because my own objective of this second innings of my life, I call it second innings beyond 60, is to share and leave my learning with others. So whether it is through book, whether it is through my faculty as a teaching, or whether it is as a mentor, even if there is a whole journey, I can leave few people enriched in their life. I think that's what the biggest success my life can achieve. Sleep with a smile. So we are fully committed. And so far my life goes, I think, well, Brojan, we can create a one
Sir,
episode on that where we will share, and especially where you and I have together have lot of exciting story which can be shared. So,
Sir, before
start,
just can I just
yeah,
interrupt you, sir, for a moment,
yeah,
sir?
yeah.
Before coming to that, it's going to be a very interesting suggestion you are going to make. I'm sure about it. Even before getting into that, you mentioned about our commitment to the viewers in terms of creating this platform, and you mentioned about your own purpose or your own plan for the time ahead to give back to the society. Sir, I have had a lot of troubles in my beginning part of my career, as I did not have the opportunity to take the guidance from an expert or from a person whom I can call as a mentor. So when I was able to make initial progress in my career, that was a time when I suffered a lot. I have lost a lot of money, I have lost time, and more importantly, most of the time, whether I was doing the best or I was at my rock bottom, I was never sure. I was never sure about what I'm doing. And that was a pain which I still remember today. And I truly believe, I don't want to go in detail about it, but in one line, if I have to say that, today I really do feel that in this journey, whatever achievements I have been able to make, my achievements could have been much, much better than what I have done had I have a good mentor since beginning. And if I look back at society today, I also see the same scenario among a lot of young people. And especially in today's scenario, it is more relevant because of the technological disruptions or advancements which is taking place in such a fast pace. There is a big impact on the employment. There are so many people who are losing jobs, and this is the time when people need to have a very scientific approach to their life, how they are going to lead their life. If they are trying to achieve success, what is the design behind it? If they leave that, just by chance, it is not going to happen. Most probably it is going to fail in their life. On the other hand, for anybody who is into, maybe for people who are into business as well, I have already mentioned about 75% of the startups fail in the first 3 years of launch. I think there cannot be a better time than this, when we have to have a good mentor or good guidance. And this is exactly what is missing today. And anybody who is not having a good guide or good mentor, I do realize my past journey. I do feel that, hey, this guy is going to experience the same thing. That is what I don't want to see. And this is why basically I thought that I should be creating this platform. And I'm so thankful to you, sir, that you have agreed to spend so much of a time sparing out your valuable time up for this particular show and do this show together. And I believe that for everybody who would like to achieve success, whether you are in a job career journey, or whether you are on an entrepreneurship journey, or any other profession for that matter, I think let us take this opportunity and let us understand the concepts or the strategies which has been shared in this particular book. And I would say that Sudipto sir won't mind going beyond this book also. If you have any other query or any other doubt related to any part of any aspect of your life, just to be able to come out of that particular phase with flying colors to achieve, to progress in life in the way of achieving success by design. I think Sudipto sir and me, we are available, we are committed. And when we say this, we mean it. We are committed. And Sudipto sir has suggested about having a website. Definitely going forward, I'm going to have it. It's a great suggestion. Thank you for that, sir. For the moment, what we have is we have this WhatsApp number which is being scrolled below this particular video. Anybody can send their queries or their suggestions to this number. This number is live 24 by 7, and we will come back to you with our solution or with our answers. In any ways, we are going to have, this particular show going for next 7, 8 episodes. So we have enough time to come back to you. Yes, sir. Over to you.
Yes. So, everybody, all the readers, this is an opportunity. This book is dedicated to all of you who want to live life by design, achieve success, and live life meaningfully. Me and Brojen are committed to help you. Buy this book for the next episode. Stay tuned for the next episode, and we will take you through chapter by chapter and explain it so that you can use this book for your best and live a meaningful life. And we will create platform where you can come back, share your success of life. You can say good or bad, whatever about this book, and how it helped or didn't help, how the show helped and didn't help, very, very openly, frankly, so that we improve ourselves, we incorporate whatever is missing, and both of us will be living a life by design and live life without it. Thank you very much. See you soon again.
Thank you so much, Sudipto sir, for giving your time and for sharing all those powerful thoughts of yours. And we're going to meet again in our next episode of BookFlix Live. That is it, ladies and gentlemen, for today. However, we will meet again on next Sunday at 11 a.m. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and stay joyful. Thank you. Bye bye.